Let's talk some football for this NFL weekend as we dive further and further into the NFL schedule. Week 8, Beebs. Holy Toledo.
Woo.
How do we get here? It feels like the season started the other day. I guess baseball playoffs can really...
Yeah. They really eat into it, huh?
Yeah, really take some days out of your lives. And speaking of, Thursday, the Buccaneers and the Ravens play. The Thursday games have been bad. The Ravens have been blowing games at the end. They tried to last week. They did not. The Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady, my goodness, who could have seen this storyline coming? Baltimore is a minus 1.5 point favorite in Tampa. If I had told you that before the season, you probably would have thought the Ravens were 6-1. They're 4-3. The Bucks are 3-4. Man, if you're the Bucks, you got to find something deep, because to go to 3-5, that's flash and light season. It's like I said, week 8. We're almost after this week. We're going to be on the road to halfway home. That's just instinctually. I know the Bucks have looked terrible, and I mean home field advantage in Tampa. I don't truly know what that means. The Ravens, you guys know I was drinking their Kool-Aid. I wanted them to earn it back, and they did that with a step last week. Buccaneers have to find a way. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's playoff Lenny. I don't know if it's Tom finding something. I don't know if it's the defense making plays. You need to find something, and I'm really excited to watch this game because I'm very interested by these two teams. I have a Thursday night available. So let's buckle in for that together. Maybe we'll get some fire tweets off. And then let's talk about some Sunday red deliciousness, and I'm not talking about the Apple video that just came out with Nikki, Joe's, and Jimmy. You need to watch that if you have not. Do you know how this Sunday starts off, Beebs?
I happen to have the schedule in front of me a little bit, and I see a 9:30 game.
We're going to London, and it's my Broncos versus BBD's Jaguars. 2-5 teams. The Broncos have been a disaster of this season. The Jaguars have been fading hard. Think about how the mighty Broncos have fallen. The Jacksonville Jaguars are minus 2.5 point favorites in London. I was getting all the texts from my buddies saying, we need to apologize to those blokes and all of that. That's tough. That being said, I've loved the London games this year. I know Saturday night we'll be coming off the World Series, so there's no Sunday game. So, man, it's going to be a true NFL Sunday. And might as well start it off. Fun. Maybe don't set the alarm, but when you wake up, flip it on, and I'm rooting Broncos, but it's kind of better for the sport if the Jaguars are good. And by the way, you know what else I got mad at? Justin Fields had a hell of a game on Monday Night Football against the Patriots. The Broncos could have drafted Justin Fields. Said they drafted a corner who's been really good, and the defense is good, but that doesn't really matter. We'll watch that. Panthers-Falcons. No, you're not watching. Panthers got a great win over the Bucks. They got to be feeling pretty good. Falcons in Atlanta. They're minus 4.5. I think I'll be betting that. I think at home and against bad teams, I think they're kind of a barometer team this year. If they play a good team, I think the Falcons will get beat. If they play a bad team, I think they will beat them. Minus 4.5, I kind of like that for Atlanta. Bears-Cowboys. I just mentioned the Bears came off a nice Monday Night Football win against the Patriots as they're figuring out their quarterback situation. But Justin Fields showed some signs of life. We like that. I hate this matchup for them. Dallas is favored by 9.5. Micah Parsons, there's genuine MVP talk coming from Micah Parsons because the other two guys that are candidates right now would be Josh Allen and Mahomes. People have a little bit of Mahomes and Allen fatigue. that if they don't do something special this year, which they may, and they probably will if we're being honest. I mean, the Bills could be a 14-win team pretty easily. They're saying Micah Parsons has a real chance, -9.5. Maybe whatever the Bears' individual team under is, I might be leaning into that because I think Micah Parsons and the boys might put on a show after the Bears were feeling good. Short week for them. Monday Night Football to a Sunday 1 p.m. Dallas Cowboys game in Dallas. Let's find out. Lions, Dolphins. My Lions are now 1-5. It looks like they're the Lions again. Dolphins are 4-3. Tua is back. We talked about their schedule. Lions, Bears, Browns, Texans. Why not get this Dolphin show back on the road? Miami -3.5 on the road. It's a little gross either way. Let's see if the Lions... I feel like we're due for a fun Lions game. They just got embarrassed at the party by the Patriots and the Cowboys. 2 road games. Their offense, 6 points in the last 2 games. Hopefully they can tap into something. But it looks like that Dolphins season could be getting back on track. The 5-1 Vikings host the 3-4 Cardinals in... I don't think fans of this would like this, but I think it's a mid-off, and I think it's kind of rude both ways. Vikings, I should be showing them more love. I kind of refuse to. They're 3-0 at home, and they're 5-1 on the season. The Cardinals are 3-4. They're 2-1 on the road. They have Hopkins back. The team's numbers are significantly different with Hopkins. You know what I'm going to tell you to do? The over-under is 49. Yam it, and let's hope this game gives us some highlights and probably a couple disasters because I don't know if I believe in either team or either coach. But there's the talent on the field to have a lot of fun. Maybe we get Jefferson and Hopkins, 2 guys that have arguments for the best receiver in the leagues going back and forth. I love Dalvin Cook, and Benjamin had a huge game the other day. We'll see. I don't know if the Cardinals have their other running backs come back. Let's hope that's fun. That has a good chance to be fun, which I haven't felt from the other games. Raiders, Saints, honestly, no. I told you last time I'm buying a little bit of Raiders stock. They're 2 points favorites in New Orleans. They still have to prove it a little bit. They're 0-3 on the road. Let's not make that 0-4. Saints are kind of the Aints. New Orleans, one of the better home fields in the NFL, but for what they're doing right now, no. Here's
this year.
Yeah. If I told you that the Patriots and Jets were going to be 3-4 and 5-2 coming into this, who would you have had? The Jets are now 5-2. They are rolling kind of a little under the radar. Not to be Giants guy, but Giants own it a little more than the Jets, and I guess their record is slightly better. New York City in football is excited right now. The Jets are on a 4-game win streak. Steelers, Dolphins, Packers, Broncos. I mean, we'll see what that looks like come the end of the year. They're at home versus the Patriots. The Patriots have some QB controversy going on between Snack Jones and Zappy. Man, I know Jets fans, this means a lot. I hope it means a lot to the players. New England, a 1.5-point favorite with 2 quarterbacks and 3-4 going up against the Jets. That feels like history is influencing the line. I don't know. It feels like one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. Jets, take care of your business. Let's keep New York City football going. / New Jersey. Eagles 6-0 off the bye week versus the 2-5 Steelers. Philly's an 11-point favorite, and I would take that in a heartbeat. I would take it in a heartbeat. I know the Steelers. The Steelers, they stole that game from the Bucks, and we thought they were the Bucks, right? No, they're not. The Bucks are bad. They beat the Bengals week 1. The Bengals genuinely didn't use preseason. And the Bengals should have won that game. Remember, that was the overtime missed and blocked kick and all that. Yeah, I would not hesitate. I don't think we have the Eagles lines figured out yet. And that's your 1 o'clock slate. So let's see. I mean, the Cardinals-Vikings game, I don't want to say poo-pooed, but I hope we get the entertainment value out of that one. Maybe Patriots.
That has
Jets.
the potential value there.
That has red zone fantasy football written all over it. So let's get that going. The 4 p.m. slate, Titans-Texans, not really. Titans, a 2-point favorite. Going into Houston, God, I would take that too. Like the board. Maybe I'm a gambling guy. Sure am, DraftKings.
Ooh.
Don't watch that though. My God. Commanders, Colts. Whew. The Carson Wentz Bowl, although it's Heineke season, baby. The Colts are 3 points favorites. Matt Ryan got benched. So this is going to be, oh my God. So we thought coming into this season that this was going to be Matt Ryan versus Carson Wentz. We now have Taylor Heineke versus Sam Ehlinger, the former Texas QB. And I think, if I remember correctly, that they had a press conference saying Matt Ryan is hurt, but that's not the reason he's getting benched. So a little, literally, insult to injury. By definition, man, I mean, tune into that just to see. The Heineke show is one of the best shows in the NFL right now on both ends of the scale, and I guess we'll see what another young NFL QB has. One of these teams will be at or above 500. Colts -3 at home. No idea. Play roulette instead. Niners, Rams. Niners have a history of dominating the Rams. It is in L.A. Niners are a -1.5 point favorite. The history would tell you these Niners are going to dominate. Week 2 of Christian McCaffrey. It's in L.A. The Rams defense has been really good. I don't know. Hart says just under with how the Rams defense has been playing and the Niners still figuring stuff out. But yeah, if this is close late, the Niners have the history in this matchup. McVay and Shanahan. Shanahan has just dominated. Let's see what it looks like. Giants-Seahawks. The only battle of two teams with winning records this weekend in Week 8.
How about that?
Is Giants-Seahawks. Giants are 6-1. They are 3-0 on the road. Your Seattle Seahawks are 4-3. They're 2-1 at home. Seahawks are 3-point favorites. Geno Smith has been balling on a budget. The Giants' offense has been getting it done when it matters. This is kind of the game of the weekend, which is fun and disgusting in a roundabout way. Beebs, anything for your Gigantes?
Excited to see what Seattle's all about because I know Geno's sort of just been balling out all year, and I don't know how that's fully looked. I'm excited to see that, and Giants keep winning. Cool.
You kind of got to believe in things in sports, right? And if you make a 6-1 team the underdog on the road after they just did it, I don't know, man. I think these Giants are playing pissy. The Daniel Jones conversations are getting really fun, and the Talkin Giants guys are having a blast. Go check them out. I heard a good one from Pete Schrager. Does the Good Morning NFL show. I think he just started a podcast. He was on with Russillo. You guys know I listen to a ton of that. Pete Schrager, who was Joe Judge, the last Giants coach. Pete Schrager, being like a connected guy in the NFL, he said he called Joe Judge after he got fired. And if you remember, Joe Judge got fired, and it was a whole at first it looked like they weren't going to fire him, and then the media went nuts, so they decided to fire him. Pete Schrager called Joe Judge, and he was expecting, a little bit of like, hey, thanks for reaching out, man, this, that, and the other. Like Joe Judge had no reason to save face or anything. Just like I'm moving on to the next. He said that Joe Judge made a point of it to tell him that Daniel Jones is a tough MFer. So when you've been looking at the Giants O-line the past couple years, when you're looking at quarterbacks around the league dealing with bad offensive lines, I think Rodgers is without Bakhtiari. I think Brady's been getting slaughtered. You don't have that O-line, it is really tough to play quarterback in this league. And they made strides there. I know Neal got banged up last week. They have a running game. The Daniel Jones stories will continue. Let's see what it looks like this week against the Seahawks. That is kind of must watch. That is kind of must watch. You don't see
really
that.
gotta check that one out. Like what Jones is doing, just got named Offensive Player of the Week.
Whoops.
I mean, anytime you've watched him, the tools are all there, and now he's starting to have some scheme help, some offensive line help. The receivers still aren't there, but he's starting to get some help around him, and it looks a lot better than previous years.
And then at night, what would have thought would be a featured game of the weekend, and still has a chance to be, because you never rule Rodgers out until you rule Rodgers out. It's Bills-Packers in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills, your biggest spread of the weekend, minus 11.5. So the Philadelphia Eagles, who are dominant, and they are kind of 1A, 1B with the Bills, they're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are one of the worst teams in football, at home, and they are 11-point favorites. Vegas thinks the gap between Eagles-Steelers and Bills-Packers is slightly larger. Think about that. Let's see what it looks like. I'll tell you what. You just don't want to be on the other side of it if Rodgers does pull the rabbit out of his beehole. Let's see. And then Bengals-Browns, Monday night. Bengals stock might already be gone. That's the football weekend. Should I give college football a look real quick just to see if there's anything that you might have to... Ohio State, Penn State, okay. Okay, Saturday during the day, I could be talked into that. Oklahoma State, K-State, that's like if it's on a bar you might watch. Kentucky, Tennessee, shout out Pax. I could tune into that, but I think that'll also be World Series, so maybe not. All right, so Sunday's going to be a big football day. Maybe a little afternoon college football on Saturday and World Series baseball. Friday and Saturday night, we will be streaming both games. The first one definitely from the office. The second one, we'll see. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll hopefully we'll have updates on that soon. BBD, feel better, everyone. Enjoy a hell of a sports weekend. I mean, if you want NBA and NHL, it's there. World Series baseball, college football, and the NFL with the London game. Fire me up. You got anything else for the people, Beebs?
Nothing huge. Got some manager stuff that we'll circle back on Talking Baseball in the coming weeks, I think. But
yes.
Shout out to Skip Schumacher.
Congrats, Skip. Bro of the night. People remember. All right.
Woo.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you next Monday on Wake and Jake, where we will have so we will know what happened in the first two games of the World Series, most of the NFL weekend. And, yeah, we'll see you guys there.
Love.